Alright everybody, look what we got here. Oh, we got some tubs, we got some fishing gear, we got a guitar. You know what that means? It means that my wife and daughter are once again out of town. I'm going to head out on a little weekend excursion, try to see if I can't find some adventure and maybe pull some trout out of a lake. This time I'm heading out to Mount Graham. It's the highest mountain in the Pinalero mountain range, just northeast of Tucson. So, should be a good time. Just wanted to show you what's going on. And just like last time, I'll try to share a little bit of my trip with you. So, have fun. Alright, so I'm out of work now, and I'm in Wilcox, and I know what you're thinking. Kirk, why are you dressed like the bad guy from Crocodile Dundee 2? And I'm about to change that, so I'm going to grab some groceries here at the Safeway, where every outdoorsman gets outfitted for the weekend. So I'm going to grab some groceries from Safeway, get into some better clothes, and keep moving up towards the mountain. Alright, now that we got the proper attire, we're ready to roll. Next stop, Mount Graham. So right now we're on Route 191 headed towards Safford. We're gonna get off and head west because we're actually headed that way towards those mountains. Can't really see that well. The video doesn't really do it justice, especially when there's a hill in the way. But yeah, this is Highway 191. It used to be called Route 666. They called it the Devil's Highway. It's pretty desolate, not a lot out here. So we'll see what we see next. So I'm getting closer. The last 12 miles to the lake are all this unpaved road here through the woods. It's really pretty, very twisty, and all gravelly. But you know, for the most part, the road's pretty well maintained. So cool. All right, I'll check in as I get yet again closer. So apparently this is Grant Creek. Didn't know there was a creek up here. Sign back there said it was open for fishing, but catch and release only. Apparently there's trout in here somewhere. That's interesting. So this is where I decided to do my dispersed camping. It's just a little back road, not too far from the lake, hopefully walking distance. But this is it right here. I picked it because it's flat, it's close to the lake. There's already a fire ring here. Big fan of the dispersed camping. I like quiet. I don't like a lot of other people around. So this will provide some solitude and some quiet. And I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to have a fire, but I should probably decide soon because I didn't bring any wood and I'll have to kind of gather. So I don't know if I'll do a fire tonight or not. It gets so boring having a fire by yourself. When the sun goes down, if you're alone, it's just time for bed, you know? It's boring. So anyway, I'll keep getting set up here, and I'll show you my little my little truck tent rig. It's not truly a truck tent, it's more of just a general tarp rig. I've never actually used it. I set it up once at the house in the driveway just to see what it was like, so hopefully it works well, and it should keep me warm. So we'll see how it goes. So I went out and bought an RV, and this is it right here. This is my RV. This is home for the next couple nights. I'll show you around, MTV Cribs style. Here is the bedroom. Ooh, spacious. There's a young cowboy who lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyon. waiting for summer's pastures to change. So I finally got a small fire going. Emphasis on the small. Thanks to a little trick of mine, you use the air mattress blower to stoke it. Look how well that works. Small fire right back to life. Everything up here is just soaked. Oh, everything up here is just soaked. It is so wet. It took me a long time to get this little fire going, so I'm going to do my best to make it bigger and enjoy it for as long as I can, but this fire's been a major pain in the ass, so just first night. I might not make a fire tomorrow night, because this just sucks. I mean, it's taken me like an hour to get this fire going. Everything is just so wet. But I've got my lantern, got my fire, and I'm ready for dinner now. I got some chips. I've got some salsa. And got a beer. I can't see it, but I got a Modelo Especial. And I've got some water. So that's going to be dinner. I'm going to try to keep this fire alive. Then I'll lay down and take a snooze. Still at Arizona, Pinalero, high. I set my fire, but still it's about to die. Eating chips and salsa, watching the white moon rise. Pinalero high, Pinalero high. Ooh-wee-wee. Well, here we are. It's Les Stroud Survivor Man time. This is my shelter for the night. Yep, in the bed pickup. It is very difficult to get in and out, so I'm really hoping I don't have to wake up and have to poop, because that would suck. But, yeah, this is it. There's my feet. Yeah, shotgun over here. Try to keep the firearms far enough away, but also close enough. Because there are, I'm not a paranoid guy, and I've spent some time in the woods, but there are bears and mountain lions here, and I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Night number 1. Let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed. All right, night 1's in the books. Looks like sun's coming up, so might as well head on out and greet the day. So I totally cheated for today. Technically, I'm making coffee, but not really. Yesterday, when I was leaving the house for work, I realized that I had too much coffee in the coffee pot, so I filled up a thermos with cream in it already, and just threw it in the cooler. So this is already made coffee with cream in it. I'm just going to warm it up. Maybe I'll percolate some coffee tomorrow. Hopefully you can see this. But there's a couple deer. There's a doe and a fawn. Just walking around the lake. Very cool. So it's about 10 o'clock now. I just got back from the lake. Didn't catch any fish. There was a few other people down there. They weren't catching fish either. I got some ideas for what to try tonight. I only brought one rod down today. And it was more just to kind of scout the lake. It's really not a very good lake for shore fishing. You really need like a kayak and a fly rod. But so what I'm doing right now, so I don't get stuck like last night, trying to gather as much dry wood as I can. This is all the small stuff. The small stuff dries most quickly. And, you know, when you're getting a fire going, you know, the small stuff catches faster. So I want to have plenty of small stuff to try to get a better fire going tonight, because the fire last night kind of sucked. So I'm trying to get prepared, better prepared for having a fire tonight. And, you know, it hasn't rained today, so things are starting to dry up a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get, just to get a good base, these pine needles that are on the very top of the ground, these are dry. Now you can't get big handfuls because just a little bit underneath and it's wet. So I'm just kind of gathering what I can find of, you know, dry pine needles and small sticks. And I'm just kind of layering them through here with some small sticks, just to try to get a good base going, so that we can actually have a decent fire tonight without so much work. So there's my truck, which is where I'm sleeping, and there's this little road that kind of heads down the mountain. So I thought I'd go for a short hike, see if there's anything interesting down here. So far, I mean, everything's been pretty cool. This road is practically a creek. It's just water running all the way down. It's crazy. So I walked about 15 minutes down the trail, and I think this is where I'm going to turn around. But this is pretty cool. This is kind of the road kind of ends here and becomes trails, and I don't want to do any trail hiking because I'm by myself and I don't want to get lost and I don't want to get attacked by a mountain lion. But this is kind of cool. So this is another undeveloped campsite, kind of like where I'm staying at. But look at that fire pit. That took some work. People are having big fires down here. And I'm assuming the Forest Service brought this in. I don't know. Maybe big dudes with chainsaws and chains. I don't know. But yeah, this is a pretty cool campsite. Well, sprinkles turned into a rain. That sucks. I'm under a tree, staying somewhat dry. But if it rains harder, I'm gonna be screwed. So it's like one of those, do I wait under a tree and stay a little bit dry? Or do I just hoof it back to the camp? I don't know yet. Well, I'm back at the camp, but it's raining. Although my tarp is working, I don't see water coming in anywhere, and it is draining off nicely, so that's good. But well, now we know what happens when it rains on my tarp. So I'm keeping dry, but it's starting to hail, or it was hailing pretty bad a little bit ago, and there's been some good lightning strikes and heavy thunder. And that's no bueno. I don't really want to be out here sitting in my truck like that. The hail is kind of letting up, which is good. If the hail and the rain let up a little bit, I'll sneak out and get into the cab of my truck, because this is no good. I am keeping dry, but I don't feel super safe. And you know, if this keeps up for much longer than this, I'm just gonna wait for my window to pack everything up and leave. Because it's not gonna, if I have to do this all night, this is going to be terrible. I don't want to deal with that. So, well, we'll play it by ear, so wish me luck. Well, it appears to be letting up a little bit. So that's a good sign. There's not too much lightning and thunder right now, which is also good. I'll tell you what though, I think it's been raining for like a half an hour I've been stuck in here. Man, the minutes just crawl. Like, if I had to do this for hours, that would really suck. So, hopefully it's letting up and we're going to get out, and I think I think I made up my mind that as soon as there's a break, I'm just going to pack things up and head off the mountain. It's going to be wet tonight, and I don't want to deal with that, so that's too bad, but what are you going to do? Well, I'm out. I was stuck in there for an hour and 10 minutes. Felt like 2 years almost. It wasn't the end. Oh, look, there's still hail on the ground. See? That's hail. There's a lot, actually. Look at that. Look at all this hail. This is all hail. Look at that. Pretty good size, too. Yeah, that was very loud. Very, very loud. Hey, look, there's another one of those red mushrooms. If I eat that, will I get like fireballs? That's a Super Mario joke. But yeah, so I'm out. It's still sprinkling, but I'm gonna go ahead and get packed up. But that was my shelter. It did keep me dry. And it's also really cooled down out here. I'd say it's probably 50 degrees. But I'm just gonna get everything packed now, and I'm gonna head off the mountain because here's my fire pit. Soaked, full of hail. See the hail down there? Can't start a fire with hail. It's all wet. Oh, my fishing gear's wet. My stove's wet. My chair's wet. My tub's wet. Everything's wet. And it's getting brighter, so. Well, the good news is I'll be home at a reasonable time. The bad news is I spent all this time gathering wood. So, oh well. Well, that sucked. At least I got some of the dust off my truck, although I'm sure I'll pick up some mud on the way down the mountain. Yeah, barely 24 hours. Leaving defeated. That's too bad. Oh well, we'll do better next time. I got some ideas on how I can rig up the truck tent a little bit better, or maybe I just have no way around it and I just have to get a regular tent. I don't know. But, oh well. We'll try again next time.